Right. So I think this is our first session and we are meeting for the first time. You people are having some expectation on me. So as the first step, initial step, let me introduce myself. Is that all right for you?
Yes, sir.
Students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, we
Fine.
can.
Okay. Let me introduce myself first. I am Janoordeen. I'm a lecturer in English professionally at the same time. Now I'm doing my role as an additional director at Hardy College of Technology. So I have over 25 years of experience in the teaching arena, in the school, in technical colleges, in colleges of technology, as well as in the university. So I have been a visiting lecturer for several institutions like the Open University of Sri Lanka, Ampara Study Center, and Hardy Advanced Technological Institute, Ampara, and the ATI Samanture and the Southeastern University in Olivine. These are my visiting places where I am delivering my service as a visiting lecturer. So I hope and I feel that I can give you my stuff and I can prepare you in order to achieve your expectations and your targets or the goals. So I don't want to take much time on my introduction. So that's the short and the brief note on me. So I think, dear students, I don't want a big explanation from my side and your side, because it may take time and it may kill our precious time. Anyhow, as a teacher, as a lecturer, I would like to know the language efficiency or the language proficiency that you have before starting my job. Now, what are your expectations and what are the difficulties that you have? Or what sort of service that you are expecting from me? Just, or what are the learning difficulties or the difficulties in English that you have? Just give me an outline of the problems, the hardships, the difficulties that you have. At least one of you.
So I'm Visnaya and I'm from Kalsara.
Okay.
I also of communication in English.
All right. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah,
Feel free, because this is our first session. So I want to know about my students and their levels and their problems and their expectations. Then I feel that I can do a better job. Right.
Excuse me, sir. I think like I would like to learn more about how to write a better essay. In the
Right.
test, they used to give like a varieties of topics, like analytic essays, like like what we learned on our introduction class last time. So I would like to know to write in a way that would be impressive to the examiner. That in that way, yeah.
Okay. So as a summary, what I can tell you, all of you, is you need to write an essay a full-fledged, well-organized essay. So essay writing is one of your expectations. Well done. Thank you very much. And anybody else? Anybody else? Now feel free to talk to me, because this is our first session. This is our first interaction.
Good evening, sir. I would like to learn about some advanced grammar regarding the prepositions, conjunctions, and the conditionals.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Okay. What else? Now, this should be an interactive class, because this should not be a one-man show, and you should not be the passive learners. I hope you all to play the role as active learners and the active learning partners in this interactive session. I must say our session should be an interactive session. Okay, so you need essay, you need some advanced grammar. What else? Because since you are my guest, as I am the host, I need to know the needs of my guest.
And I would like to know about the time management, because they are going to give only 1 hour for us.
Yes.
During that time, we have to write an essay about 400 words. Then we have to answer some part 1 and 2 questions. I think they are not giving any clues for that. So how can we? So it's difficult for us to do the paper within 1 hour.
Yes.
So I would like to learn how to answer those questions within a period of time.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's a very strategic area. I'll definitely help you and I'll guide you. Apart from that, are there any other expectations? Because I want to know these things, then only I can deliver a better service for you. That is my intention. So feel free to talk to me. Yes. So I have come to know 3 areas where I need to help you. One is to writing an essay. The other is some advanced grammar. Then time management regarding the answering of the questions. Then what about the reading and comprehension? What about the reading and comprehension part? Don't you have such a question?
We have, sir. There are lots of different words are there.
Right. Don't worry, don't worry.
Difficult words.
Right.
So
all right. Nothing to worry, because if you have a very good self-determination, if you have perseverance, an intention of succeeding in the examination, it's enough. That's the investment. All right. Then, you know, although it is a single 1 hour paper, it is a must for you to succeed in all the questions areas, because if I want to say, it is a win-win situation. It is a competitive examination where you need to succeed. Success is the one and only target that you need to accomplish at the end. All right. So I feel it is better to focus on the grammar area first. Oh, what is your preferred area? Do you want to start with the advanced grammar or essay writing or reading and comprehension? What's your choice? Let me know.
Advanced
grammar.
Advanced grammar.
Advanced grammar, sir.
Okay, fine. So now, because I always prefer the choice of my student. So since you have advanced grammar as your first choice, now why did you choose such area first? Let me know there is secret behind. I think you are very much panicked.
Most of
You are very much afraid of the grammar questions. Am I right?
yeah, sure.
You have some nervousness or some kind of palpitation over the grammatical area. Now, you know, I time to time I'll be asking some sort of interactive question, so those who know the answer may answer it right or wrong, whatever it is that you have in your mind, you can put it out. Okay, now advanced grammar. Now, any one of you, can you tell me what do you mean by grammar first? Because you are worried about the advanced grammar. Now, I need to know from you what sort of image or a picture that you have regarding the grammar in your mind. What is it? What's grammar? This is just a casual question. You may give me a casual answer. Come on.
That is structure of the English language.
Louder, please.
That is the structure of the English language.
Right. It's a structure. Fine. Very good answer. Anybody else? I want all my students to interact with me, one after the other. Don't be the passive listeners. Be the active partners. Come on. What do you mean by grammar now? People are very much worried about the grammar part.
We can't read write anything without grammar, sir.
Okay.
Then only we
can't
want to.
read. Yes.
We want
Yes,
to
you are right.
study. We must study.
Yes, that's fine. It's also a very good, very encouraging answer. Anybody else? Please feel free. Feel free. Feel free to express
Language.
your ideas. Come on.
It's the structure of one language.
Structure of the language. Very, very absolute answer. Very good. Others, there are more and more passive listeners. But I need active students.
Yes, sir. I think, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I think grammar is a backbone to our English language.
Yes, definitely. Why not? This is a very good poetic answer.
Yeah, so that we want to consider about our grammar before learning our English language.
Yes, yes. You know, now, thank you very much for all your encouraging and motivational answers. you know, what was my question?
What is grammar?
Yeah, what's grammar? Then you gave me the answers. Thank you very much. But now the problem is this. When there is a question, the person or the candidates who answer the question should comprehend, should understand what the question is about. Now, question is, what's grammar? Then some answers are looking very smart. Some other answers are moving little bit far away. So now, leaving that question, I would like to ask another question. Now, when there is a question like, what's grammar? Or what's preposition? Or whatever it is, then you must give a comprehensive answer in the form of the definition. So, any definition has some characteristics. Any definition has some characteristics. Now, my question is, what's grammar? So, grammar has some characteristics. Do you know the characteristics? Yes?
Is it about the tense?
Yes?
Is it about the tense, sir? The time
Yeah.
of the...
Yeah. Now, first thing you should know, grammar means it is a set of language rules. Grammar is the set of language rules or the linguistics rules. Language or the linguistics rules. Because without the rules, we cannot organize anything. We cannot regularize anything. We cannot systematically express anything. So, if we want to do some writing, if we want to do some speaking or reading or whatever, there are certain language rules which are strictly followed or should be strictly followed by the language users. So, don't worry, grammar is the set of or the collection of language rules which are used to govern the language. Governing the language. What do you mean by govern? Govern, governor, government. What's it?
Controlling.
Yeah. If you and I want to keep the language under our control, if you and I want to keep the language under our control or under our custody, we must know the grammar. Grammar means here the set of language rules or the collection of the language rules. That's all about. So in each and language skill areas, each and every component of the language, it can be the speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills, or listening skills. Whatever the skills, we must follow some set of language rules which are known as grammar. So can you get that point? What's grammar?
Yeah.
What is the summary?
Set of language rules which are used to govern.
Yeah, set of language rules. Yeah, if you want to start
Rules
a
of
sentence, if you want to start a sentence, how do you start a sentence? In simple letters or capital letters?
Capital
Why?
letter.
So who tells that rule? Who tells that rule?
Grammar.
It's grammar. When you write a sentence, then you have to keep the sentence parts in an order. Say, for example, subject, verb, then object, or the subject, verb, then complement. Who tells you that rule? The grammar. When you want to write a sentence, you need to follow a particular tense. Who tells that? Who is telling you to follow some tense patterns? It's grammar.
Grammar.
So, grammar is the collection of or the set of language or linguistics rules need to be followed by the language users. Right, fine. Now let's come back to the point. Now under advanced grammar or under the question paper, if you want to learn a language, now even your language expectation is a very specific one. Anyhow, in order to win this game, you should know certain things. First, if you want to be successful in the language, not only from the grammatical questions, but also from the essay writing and from the reading and comprehension, from all these three components, you should know first, the starting point of the language. What is the starting point of the language? For a second language learner, what do you want to learn first? What should be the first component of the language learning, especially for writing and reading? What is the first part? Where do you want to start your learning process?
Tenses.
Tense?
Parts of speech.
Yes, absolutely. Dear students, since you have advanced grammar, prepositions, conjunctions and all, what you need to know first is the parts of speech. Parts of speech is known with some other name. What is the other name for parts of speech? Anybody? Parts of speech also known as what? Parts of speech also known as word classes. Please take that point also. A language learner should start his learning process initially with the parts of speech or word classes. You better keep a notepad with you. You better keep a notepad with you, and whenever there are some key points, better take it down. I will definitely give you some note, some kind of handouts, some explanations, and some model questions soon after the discussion. Because it is a must for a learner to pay his or her attention to the lesson first. So what is best is to keep a notepad with you. So a language learner should be thorough with the parts of speech or word classes first. It is the very first and the initial step in the language learning process. If you want to step into the language ladder, the first job is the parts of speech. The first stage is parts of speech. What is the second stage?
About the tense.
Huh? If you become thorough with the parts of speech or the word classes, what is going to be the second step? The second step is the sentence making. If you are strong enough or if you are good enough in parts of speech or word classes, then you can go for sentence formation. That is step 2. Then we have step 3. What is step 3? It's about paragraph. If you are good enough and if you are capable enough, then you can go for paragraph writing or formation of the paragraphs. That is step 3. Step 4. Step 4 is the essay writing. Step 4 is the essay writing. So all these language ladders are essential for you. So without the basic or understanding of the parts of speech, advanced grammar will be highly impossible. So our task from today is converting the impossibilities into possibilities. Keep in mind, you and I are meeting here and getting here together in order to convert what is impossible into possible. Keep that point in mind. So now, if you want, you can take it down. You are going to learn first the parts of speech. It is a must for your advanced grammar. Then we will focus our attention to the stage 2 as the sentence, then paragraph, then essay. If you have problems or if you have impossibilities with sentence, paragraph, then your essay writing will be under trouble. Keep in mind. So first, I'll help you to become thorough with the parts of speech first, then second, next, then paragraph, then essay. So little by little, one by one, gradually, we shall progress. Now, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ready now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Don't be sleepy because you have to be vigilant. Now let's take the first headline, parts of speech or word classes. Take that heading first. Parts of speech or word classes. Now here, now my first question is, what do you mean by parts of speech? What kind of image that you have in your mind?
Which are necessary.
Let me know. What is parts of speech or word classes?
The parts of speech consist of noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection.
Yeah. Now you are telling me the parts of speech. My question is, what is parts of speech? What do you mean? What do you understand from the terminology parts of speech? That's my question.
The key tool of speech.
What is parts of speech? Or what are word classes?
Elements of language.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other answer?
A function of a word in a sentence.
The functions of the word in a sentence. All right. We can consider this answer. Right. Anyway, I'll be giving you the simple answer. Don't worry. You know, parts of speech refers to the basic or the fundamental units, the basic or the fundamental units of the language. The basic or the fundamental units of the language is called parts of speech or word classes. Because if you want to form a sentence, you need words. If you want to form a paragraph, you need sentences. If you want to construct or write an essay, you need paragraphs. So, all these areas, all these components are highly depending on the word classes. It is the foundation. When there are errors, when there are weaknesses, when there are shortcomings in the parts of speech or word classes, your total language will be destroyed. It will be under the destruction. It will collapse the total building blocks. So the parts of speech become the fundamental or the basics of the language. Right. Now, I would like to revise this parts of speech first with you, and based on your responses, your answers, I may decide whether we want to go deeper or we may go in a superficial manner. Right. Now, basically, dear students, keep in mind the parts of speech or the word classes consist of 8 components. If you want, you can make that point. There are 8 word classes basically in English. How many?
8.
8. Yeah, there are 8 components, 8 language units. The basic or the fundamental units are there. If I want to let you know all those 8, The first one is noun. Number 1 is noun. Number 2, pronoun. 3, verb. 4, adverb. Number 5, adjective. 6, preposition. 7, conjunction. 8, interjection, or some experts say exclamation. I shall repeat it for you. List out the parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, or exclamation. These are the 8 word classes in English. Right. Now, once again, you can draw a chart in your notepad now. Draw a chart. In the chart, because we want to learn things in a limited time, because we have limited hours. So just draw a table and draw the table with 3 columns. Column 1, the word class. Column 2, the definition. Column 3, the usage or the functions. Have you drawn the table now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Name of the word class, first column. Definition, second column. Usage or function, column number 3. Then let's take the first column. Put it number 1, noun. Now the second question is, what do you understand from noun?
Naming words.
Yes, naming the words. Anything else? What kind of image that you have in your mind regarding the first word class noun?
It's a name of
Probably
a
noun is the first
person,
word class.
place. It's a name of a person, place, animals, or things,
Right.
or
Very
states.
good. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
words for persons and like those things and places.
Yes. Definitely. You are right. So, what you gave me is the answer for what is a noun. It's a very good answer. Yeah. Naming the words. Now, sometimes we say naming the things. Do you know what are the things do we have around us? What are the things do we have around us? What do we have around us? We can divide the things into 2 groups. One is
Living.
Living things
living
and
things and
non-living things. Non-living things.
non-living things. Under living things, what do you have? Under living
Animals,
things, what do
persons,
we have? Yeah,
animals, persons.
yeah. Animals we have. we have the birds. Then we have the plants. We have the micro organs. All these are living things. Each of these living things have a name, isn't it?
Yes.
So all such names are coming under noun. If you take animals, how many varieties of animals are there in this world? Each of the animal has its own name. So all those words are coming under noun. Then we have the birds, we have the plants, we have the reptiles, we have the micro-organs. All such things are coming under noun. Then we have the non-living things. Example, we have the places, we have the objects, we have some ideas or concepts. All of them are coming under noun. Once again, we have places, we have objects, lifeless objects, materials, and also we have ideas, or we can say concepts. Now, all these things are coming under noun. So what we can say is the words, the naming of words are coming under the category of nouns. Now, the next question is the most important question. Do you know that? What is noun? What are the roles? What are the functions of the noun? Column number 3. Now, why do you learn noun? What is the use of learning noun? What is the benefit of learning noun? Why do you and why should I learn noun?
It's
To name people, place, things, qualities.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. You know, simply the answer is nouns have some jobs. Nouns have some functions. One main function is nouns are the words which are used to create the subject. If you want to make a sentence, most probably you need a subject in the sentence. So how are you going to create the subject? Huh? How are you going to make the subject? Are there any ways? Simple. You can apply, you can choose a particular noun and use it. When you use that particular noun in a sentence, at the beginning, it becomes the subject part of the sentence. So the job or the function done by a noun is creating the subject or functioning as a subject in a sentence. It is one of the main jobs or functions done by a noun. So whatever the noun is there, you can use the noun as a subject. Soon after using the noun in a sentence at the beginning of the sentence, it becomes the subject of the sentence. You see? So nouns are used as the subject in a sentence, that is the first job done by a noun. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Sir.
Yeah. So we are learning thousands of nouns in English. We have nouns. Birds are nouns. Animals are nouns. Plants are nouns. Reptiles are nouns. Micro-organs are nouns. All such living things are nouns. They are really uncountable. Uncountable number of nouns are there. When you go to the non-living things area, we have places. All the places are noun. We have objects or materials. All the objects, all the materials are noun. We have concepts. We have ideas around us. All such ideas are nouns. Can you tell me one idea as noun? Can you tell some nouns in the form of ideas? What do you mean by ideas there? Ideas are nouns. What is the quality of ideas? Can you see ideas?
No, we can't.
Can you see ideas?
Can't.
It's abstract.
Can you touch ideas?
No.
Can you smell ideas?
No.
Can you taste ideas?
No, sir.
No. So, as a summary, you should keep in mind the abstract things are the ideas. Say, for example, science, technology, English, religion, language, happiness, sadness. All such things are. There are many, many millions of ideas in the world. All of them are nouns. So, we have nouns. All these nouns can be used as the subject part of the sentence. So, roughly, if you take a sentence, there are three parts, three components in a basic sentence. One component is the subject. So, you and I can create or make a subject using the noun. So, noun is the best option to create the subject part of the sentence. Because our next step is sentence making. That leads for paragraph writing and essay writing. See the link? See the chain of the connection? So noun as the subject. That is the first function or the first task done by the noun. The second job. Can you guess the second job of the noun? Function number 2.
Function as an object in a sentence.
Very well. Well done. Very good answer. You are absolutely right. You see, when you start a sentence with the noun, you can finish the sentence with another noun as the object. So the second important job done by a noun is noun as the object part of the sentence. So as I told you minutes before, roughly in a sentence, we have three parts: subject, verb, and the object. Out of those three parts, two areas are covered by the noun. So we learn nouns in order to, why? We learn nouns in order to create the subject and create the object parts of the sentence. You see? So in order to create a simple sentence, we are using nouns as the subject part and as the object part. So now you know two important functions or jobs done by a particular noun. Are there any other jobs done by the noun? Huh? The third one, keep in mind, you can use noun as an adjective also. Nouns are as adjective, right? That is the third function. Don't think that noun is always a noun. If you like, if you need, you can use a noun. You can use a noun as an adjective in a sentence. It's possible. Now, say for example, children make, children make or children draw pictures, right? Children draw pictures. In this sentence, what are the nouns? Children,
Children and
pictures.
pictures.
Yeah. So, children draw pictures. Now here, you can use another noun in front of the subject noun or the object noun.
Object noun.
Say for example, yeah, now we have children subject noun, picture object noun. We have two nouns in this sentence.
Yes.
If you like, you can add, you can place another noun in front of the subject noun or the object noun, but that particular noun will be functioning as an adjective. Now, say for example, children draw pictures. So, what you can do is, in front of the subject noun children, you may use orphan children. Orphan children. Just for an example. Now, what about this word orphan?
It's a noun.
Yeah, orphan is a noun. The child without the parents. The orphan children. Now, the word orphan is being used, although it is a noun in the word class, it has been used as an adjective. Orphan children. You see? So, the subject noun is children. Orphan also a noun, but in this sentence, the noun orphan is functioning as an adjective. This is what you need to note. This is what you need to understand. Orphan children. draw pictures. I'll be giving you another example. People take vegetables. Look at this one, or note it down. People take vegetables. Here also we have two nouns. People, vegetables. Now, in front of the object noun, what is the object noun?
Vegetables.
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 You may use another noun. People take green vegetables. Basically, what is green?
It is a noun.
It's a noun.
It's green. It's a noun.
The color.
What is the function in the sentence?
Adjective.
Yeah. So the nouns are functioning as an adjective. Can you do this job hereafter?
Excuse me, sir, I have a small doubt. Does the
Yes.
colors count as a noun?
Yes.
Oh,
Why
okay.
not? Because here, according to this sentence, people take vegetables. Now I have placed the word green in front of the object noun vegetable. Then this word green, even though it's a noun, it is doing the job of the adjective. So we consider noun sometimes as an adjective. That is job number 3.
Great.
Function number 3. Function number 4. Nouns as verb. Keep in mind. Nouns are also used as verb. Nouns can function as verb in a sentence. Now, say for example, you can use nouns as verb in a sentence. Even though the particular word is belonging to the nouns category originally, the nouns can be used as verbs. Say, for example, table. Basically, what is a table? Huh?
Noun. Noun.
It is a noun.
It's a noun. It's
A
a
noun,
furniture
sir.
variety. Yeah, it's a furniture variety, basically. Now, I just give you a model sentence or an example, then you can study it and understand. The chairman tables the proposal in the meeting. The chairman tables the proposal in the meeting. Have you taken down the sentence?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The chairman. What is the subject in the sentence?
The chairman.
The chairman. What is the verb there? It's tables.
Tables.
Tables the proposal in the meeting. So, in this sentence, the chairman is the subject part. The word table, although it's a furniture, I have used that word as a verb in the sentence as the S form. Verb has several forms. Now, this sentence has been written in simple present tense, right? The sentence belongs to the simple present. And the word belongs to noun category, the word class, but I have used the verb, the noun as a verb. The chairman, the subject. Tables, the verb. The proposal is the object part. Now, what is the meaning of the word table here? Can you guess the meaning?
Keep.
He put hand
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, submit or forward or produce. That's the meaning, not the furniture. Because, as you know, yeah, normally verbs indicate
Tables
actions.
mean
Sorry? Can you repeat the question again? Is it clear?
Couldn't understand, sir. Can you explain again the chairman tables the proposal in the meeting sentence?
Yes. Listen to me carefully. Basically, the word table is a noun in the word class. But if a writer wishes, if a writer wants, he or she can choose that word table and use it as a verb in a sentence with a different meaning. The chairman, that is the subject part of the sentence. Tables mean it is the verb in the sentence according to the sentence order with the meaning. The word tables, according to this sentence, my sentence, it indicates the meaning he submits or he produces or he hands over or he makes it public. You see? So now we are talking about the functions of the noun. So nouns are used to do some work. One job is nouns are used as the subject. Job number 2, nouns are used as object. Job number 3, nouns are used as adjective. Not only that, job number 4, nouns are also used as verbs in a sentence. If you want, if you like, you can choose a noun and use it as a verb in a sentence. So what I have given you is a model sentence. Example, the chairman tables the proposal in the meeting. So according to this sentence, the word tables is functioning as a verb in this sentence, not as a noun. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, so don't think that nouns are only nouns in a sentence. Nouns can do the job of verb also. I just give you another example. Another example. Name 5 objects in a classroom. Name 5 objects in a classroom. Now, this is a sentence of command, right? A teacher says in the classroom, looking at the students, name 5 objects maybe in a primary classroom. Name 5 objects in this classroom. What is the meaning of the word name there?
Tell.
Yeah.
Mention,
write, state. You see, basically, the word name is belonging to which category? Which group? What is the word class?
No.
Yeah. But now, how does the teacher use it?
As in verb.
Yeah, he uses the word name not as a noun, but as a verb. As the base, nouns are also functioning as verbs in a sentence. It is also an important function of a noun. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So now I can give you different samples, examples. Now say, sometimes you can change a noun as a past and past participle. As a past and past participle verb also. Now say for example, the Sri Lankan Parliament, better write it, Sri Lankan Parliament is, the Sri Lankan Parliament is housed. Sri Lankan Parliament is housed in Kotte. Now you underline is housed. Sri Lankan Parliament is housed. What is the meaning of housed?
Located.
Situated.
Located, situated. Very good. Placed. Now, you see, basically, we have a noun house. But what I have done? H-O-U-S-E. So, what I have done is, I have converted the noun as what?
To a verb.
As the past participle.
Participle, yes.
You see? So, as a language learner, we should know the elasticity. We should know the flexibilities in the noun. If we know these techniques, these things, then we can use nouns for several purposes. So we are not learning nouns just for the sake of naming things. We can use nouns, although they are naming words. We can use nouns for several purposes, several functions. Subject, object, then adjective, then the verb, then the past participle. Sometimes you can use a noun. The next function is as a complement. As a, what do you mean by complement? Do you have any idea about complement? What do you mean by complement? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir. But I don't have a
Right. So now the thing is that, so we have taken just the very first part of the speech or the word class noun. We see how many things are there. So you can come to know about these things, mechanisms, and you may apply these nouns for several reasons and several purposes. And you can maximize the benefits from it. Even I think you may have some knowledge or very good understanding about the types of nouns. Ne? Types of nouns. Do you have some basic understanding about the types of nouns? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have some idea. Now, what are those major or the important types of nouns?
Countable, uncountable, proper, common, abstract, collective.
Yes. First, better go on a proper order. Common noun. Common noun. Second one, proper noun. Third one, concrete noun. Fourth one, compound noun. Fifth one, collective noun. Sixth one, abstract noun. Seventh one, countable noun. Eighth one, uncountable noun. These are some basic categories or the basic types of nouns. Better refer this. If I take explaining each one of this, it may take time. So since as you all adult learners, you refer this. Common noun, proper noun, then concrete noun, common, proper, concrete, compound, collective, abstract, countable, uncountable. These are the 8 types of nouns that you need to have some understanding on this. Some understanding. You need to have some understanding on this. Then you can use the nouns effectively for the purposes which we discussed. All right. Now, so is it all right? Is it enough regarding the noun? Then shall we move on to the second one?
Compliment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or you need some discussion on this types of noun? Huh? Come on, tell me.
You don't give a definition of the as
I can't hear you. Please raise your voice.
usage number 5. As a usage of the noun as a complement.
Ah, yes, complement.
Yeah.
What do you mean by complement? Do you have any idea on this?
No, yes. Token of appreciation.
Yes. That means using a noun to end a sentence. Using a noun to end a sentence in a different way. Now, say for example, you can, you know the gerunds. You may have some idea about it. So you can take the noun, you can convert it into the ing form and use it to finish the sentence as the object part of the sentence. Now say, for example, Titanic is a film. Titanic is a film. It is interesting. Now, basically, interest is a noun. Basically, interest is a noun. What you do is, you are converting that noun interest as interesting into ing form. With that ing form, you are completing the sentence. You are finishing the sentence. Titanic is a film. It is interesting. So interesting is the ing form. It has taken from the word interest, the noun, and it has been used to complete or finish the sentence. So the complement job is done by the word. Is it all right? Okay. Now, out of these 8 word classes, we are still in the first one. Now, what about the second one? Shall we move to the pronoun? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Right. Because we have 8 word classes. Can you give me any explanation regarding the pronoun?
Describing a noun.
It's a noun.
Yeah.
A
What is
word
pronoun?
which is used to replace the noun.
Yes. Well done. Absolutely right. You know, simply say, pronoun is the replacement of the noun. Or even you can say, pronoun is the substitute for the noun. That is the short and the easiest way to say. Pronoun is the substitute or the replacement of the noun. Right. Then what about the functions or the roles of the pronoun? This is the important one.
Subject pronoun, object pronoun.
You know, the shortcut answer is, what we said is, pronouns are the replacement of the noun. That means, in the place of the noun, we can use a pronoun. In a sentence, in the position of the noun, we have the authority, we have the permission to use a pronoun. So logically, nouns and the pronouns are equal. Logically and rationally, they are equal as far as a sentence is concerned. So if they are equal in status, what we can do is, we can use the pronouns similar to the way that we used to use the nouns. So the simple answer is, pronouns are doing the jobs or the functions of the noun. So we don't want to take much time to discuss this pronoun, because pronouns are also doing the similar jobs, the similar kinds of jobs done by the nouns. We can use the pronouns as the subject, pronouns as object, pronouns as adjective. All such things can be done. Now, say for example, Ravi is an engineer. So here we have two nouns. One is Ravi, the other one is engineer. Then, second sentence, he loves his job. Ravi is an engineer. Sentence number one, Ravi is an engineer. If you want, you can write it down. Then I'm going to replace these two nouns, Ravi and engineer, with some pronoun. He loves his job. What are the pronouns here?
Ravi by he, engineer by
Now, how many pronouns are here? He loves his job. How many pronouns are in the second sentence? Two, ne?
Two.
He,
Job.
he, then his. Job is not a pronoun. Job is not a pronoun. Job is a noun. Is it clear? Ravi is an engineer. He loves his job. So in my second sentence, there are two pronouns. One is he, the other one is his. The other one is his. Job is a noun. It is the object now. So in the second sample, he is the pronoun that is used instead of Ravi. His job. Job is the noun, object now. In front of that word job, there is a pronoun his. It is the adjective. Possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. Right? So pronouns are also doing the job of adjectives. Because I think it is easy if you know the types of pronouns. Types of pronouns. I think you may have some idea about the types of pronouns. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. What are the types of pronouns that you know? Otherwise, I can remind you.
Subject pronoun, object pronoun, possessive adjective, possessive pronoun, like that. Reflexive pronoun.
Yes. Yes. So, very well. Well done. Subject pronoun, then the object pronoun, possessive adjective, then possessive pronoun, and the reflexive pronoun. These are the major types of pronouns. So what you can do is, in order to use pronouns effectively, you can draw a table. I will just guide you. So you have to do some work, hard work. Draw the columns. 5 columns. In each column, you put the title. Subject pronoun, 1 column. Object pronoun, 2nd column. Possessive adjective, column number 3. Possessive pronoun, column number 4. Reflexive pronoun, column number 5. You draw this column and then write the subject pronouns. I. Then object pronoun, me. Possessive adjective, my. Possessive pronoun, mine. Reflexive pronoun, myself. Like this, you fill the table. Possible? Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I can just guide you. You draw a table under the pronoun, then column them in the table with those 5 categories: subject pronoun, object pronoun, possessive adjective, possessive pronoun, then reflexive pronoun. Under each column, you write those varieties: I, me, my, mine, myself. Likewise, we, then us, our, ours, ourselves. Then you, then you. Subject pronoun and object pronoun is common for you, the second person. Subject pronoun, you. Object pronoun also you. Then possessive adjective,
Yourself.
your. The pronunciation, it is not necessary now. Pronunciation we are not going to discuss. Anyway, the right pronunciation is your, not your. Your and yours. And then there are 2. Yourself and yourselves.
Yourselves.
Yeah, there are. When you go for the reflexive pronoun, you should be careful. Unlike our native languages, Sinhala or Tamil, in English, for singular form and the plural forms, we have 2 different reflexive pronouns. Yourself for the singular. Yourselves for the plural. Keep that point in your mind and work accordingly. That's about pronouns. I don't want to take much time with this. And then under the word classes category, you need to have thorough knowledge, because now we are planning to cover the advanced grammar as well as the essay and then reading comprehension. So this discussion on advanced grammar will be directly and indirectly supportive to you to write an effective and constructive essay. Your weaknesses in the word class will definitely reflect in the essay writing. So in order to avoid such a disaster, we should be precautionary and we should be cautious as well. So the discussion and the thorough understanding on word classes is a compulsory one. So with the knowledge of nouns and pronouns, you can construct the subject part of a sentence and the object part of a sentence basically. So in the middle of the sentence, you have the word class number 3, verb. Most of the students in my almost 3 decades of teaching experience, right? I am not only a teacher, a lecturer, but also I am a paper setter. I set question papers for national exams. At the same time, I am an evaluator, assessor. So I go for question paper evaluations as well. So it is very pathetic, and I feel very sorry about the mistakes made by the students or the candidates. They sit for competitive examinations, but they make silly mistakes. Very, very careless and petty mistakes are there. That damages the smartness of their answer, as well as it causes the deduction in the marks. Ultimately, these kinds of things result in the failure of the examination of the candidate. So what is best is to take some preventive and corrective measures at the very beginning. So for that purpose, I am here to help you. So in my experience, most of the exam candidates make errors in each and every sentence in handling the verbs rather than the noun and pronoun. Noun related, pronoun related mistakes are little bit down. It's not much, but majority of the exam candidates make mistakes in the verb part. Handling of the verb is the most sorrowful thing. It's also terrible. So what I want to tell you is, in this juncture, dear students, pay your special attention on verbs, especially during the sentence formation time. During the writing process, you need to pay special attention on the application of the verbs, because most of the mistakes are done at the verb area. So you need to be cautious. Right. Now, briefly let me know what a verb is.
It is an action.
Yeah.
Doing.
Verbs denote actions. Fine. Thank you. Any other answer?
A doing verb.
Yes. Verb is doing some jobs. Okay. Any other points that you can add? Right. Okay, don't worry. You know, verb is something different from other parts of speeches or the word classes. Basically, it is the expertise answer or the answers given by the language experts. What they say is, verb is the word which completes a sentence. This is a kind of latest definition. Verb is the word that completes a sentence. What do you mean by that? If there is no verb in a sentence, that sentence is an incomplete one. In order to produce a complete sentence, you have to have a verb there. In other words, in short, what we can say is no verb, no sentence. Whatever the amount of word classes you and I may use to form a sentence, when there is no verb in a particular sentence, then it is not a sentence. Although we have 8 word classes, although you have taken 7 word classes and constructed a sentence, that sentence will be no longer a sentence. It is not considered as a sentence simply because there is no verb. So when there is no verb in a sentence, it is not a sentence. Then there are some basic characteristics for a verb. Do you know that? What are the basic qualities of a verb? Anybody? Huh?
Singular and plural.
Sorry?
Singular and plural.
Okay. Do you have singular plural for verb?
No.
Normally we have singular plural story for the noun.
Noun.
Yeah. Now we are talking about the verbs. So verbs have some basic qualities or the certain characteristics. It is better to know. If I want to say such categories of the qualities, one such
Base form.
characteristic is, verbs are the changing part of the sentence. That is one category. Verbs will be changing. It has different forms. Time to time, verb is changing. Rather than the subject part and the object part, most of the times, verbs are changing. They are not permanent. Now say, for example, we may have changes in the noun, basically singular plural changes. Now student, students, knife, knives, man, men, woman, women. So they are singular plural change. That is as far as the nouns are concerned. But verbs are always a changing part of the sentence. Now, why do verbs change? What is the reason for the changing quality of the verbs?
To mention the time.
Now, what are the factors that bring about the changes in the verb? Why do the verbs change? What's the reason? What are the factors which are causing the verb changes?
To mention the tense.
Very good. If there is a, when the tense changes, verb will be changed. So the tense is an important factor which makes changes in the verb. So tense or the tense patterns is one key factor which brings about changes in the verb. This is one thing. What about the other one? The change of the subject. When the subject is changing from singular to plural or noun to pronoun, the verb will be changing. Now, say for example, I give you an example, then it will be very clear for you. I write poems. Okay, what is the subject here? I. What is the nature of that word class? It is the first person singular. First person singular subject. I write poems. Now, if I change this subject into third person singular, I write poems. So this sentence is written in the first person language. Now I am changing the subject into third person language. Third person language, simple present. I write poems. Now he writes. Don't say he writes poems. He writes poems. What has happened now?
The S is added.
Yeah. What has happened? Actually, when I write the sentence, I write poems, this sentence is written in the simple present. At the same time, the verb is in the base form. Base form. We say V1. Base form. I write poems. So the verb is write. It is in the base form. When I change the first person singular into third person singular, there is a change in the verb. The base form write turns to be S form writes. So who brought this change? Who brought this change? Subject. So we have to keep in mind, when the subject is changing, there is a change in the verb. First person singular, I write poems. Then I am changing the first person singular into third person singular. He writes poems. So there is a change. Write, writes. Write is the base form. Writes is the S form. So this is what you need to know. So verb is a changing part of the sentence. Those changes are brought by the subject of the sentence. So when the subject is changing, verb will be changing. That is one thing. Second thing is tense change. When the tense is changing, definitely verb will be changing. Now, say for example, I write poems. This is in the present tense, simple. When you say, I write poems, what is the tense? It is simple present. It is simple present. I write poems. If you want to change the tense, suppose past. I wrote poems, or he wrote poems. Now again, the verb form has gone into past form. So the past form is being caused by the change of the tense or the tense pattern. So you have to remember or keep in mind, verbs are changing. Why? Because of the subject changes and tense changes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to keep in mind always, verbs are the changing part of the sentence. Why? Because of the subject changes and the tense or the tense pattern changes. That is one thing. The next thing is the next quality of the verb is the heart of the sentence. Heart means here, verb is the life giver, or the sentence that the verb makes a sentence alive, meaningful. It is another quality. Although we have a subject, although we have a verb, if there is no verb, it is not a sentence, because the sentence is a dead one. It is a dead sentence. Now, say for example, hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourists, Sri Lanka. Hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourists, Sri Lanka. Is it a sentence? Can you agree with that?
No.
No. Why? There are so many words in it.
There is
Hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourists, Sri Lanka. Why can't you accept it as a sentence?
There's
because
no verb.
There's no verb, ne? Yeah. So if you want to make it as a sentence, what are you going to add there?
verb.
A verb.
Verb. What is the suitable verb? Can you guess?
Come.
Yeah. Come or visit.
Visit.
Many hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourists visit Sri Lanka or come to Sri Lanka. Now the question here is, without the verb, you see, how many words we used? Hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourist Sri Lanka. I have used almost 9 words from 9 word classes, or from 7 word classes, all other 7. So although there are many words from different word classes, we don't consider it as a sentence because the verb is not there. the verb part is missing. So when there is no verb, we don't consider it as a sentence. So what you can say is the main quality or the characteristic of the verb is verbs make a sentence alive. Make that point. Verbs make a sentence alive. Within bracket, you can mention meaningful. Alive mean meaningful. If there is no life, in other words, if there is no meaning, then the sentence is a dead sentence. Right. So these are some basic qualities of a verb. Then, dear students, you need to do some hard work on the verb forms, especially of the, now, shall I ask you a question? Now, what are the principal categories of the verb? Huh? What are the principal categories of the verb in general? Anybody? What are the principal categories of the verb? How many principal categories of verbs are there in English? Huh?
14.
14 categories. Okay. Any other answers? You know, basically, there are two categories. Verbs are brought under two categories. One is, the principal categories are two. One is
Regular and
the
irregular.
principal verbs. No, principal verbs. Sometimes it is called main verbs. The other one is
Auxiliary verbs.
auxiliary verbs. It is also known as helping verbs. These are the two categories. One is the principal verbs. The other one is the auxiliary verbs. Now, if you take the principal verbs once again, principal verbs or the main verbs are under 5 forms. These verbs are brought under 5 verb forms, main verb forms. This is what our people sometimes say, V1, V2, V3, like that. Rather than using V1, V2, the easy way is to say the main forms of the principal verbs are there into 5 categories. One is the base form. You better go for this classification. It is very useful rather than telling V1 and V2. Base form, that is the first form of the main verb, base form. Then S form, past form, past participle form, ing form. How many categories are there? How many forms?
5.
Yeah, 5. So these 5 verb forms are born from the principal verbs. Now, if you take, for example, what you can do is you can draw a column, draw a table with 5 columns and place those 5 forms of the verbs. Now, as we discussed earlier, if you take the verb write, that is base form. Then writes S form. wrote past form, written past participle form, writing ing form. Write, writes, wrote, written, writing. So these are the 5 main verb forms that we have in English under the principal verbs. This is what people call sometimes V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. What you do is you can draw this table, but out of these 5 verb forms, S form and ing form are not challenging our students. S form and ing form. It is not challenging much. But please remember, base form, past form, and past participle form, those 3 are the challenging part of the main verbs. So what you can do is you have to do a little bit hard work and you have to memorize them. Now, say for example, if a student does not know the past form or the past participle form, there is a possibility to use that particular word, write, W-R-I-T-E-D, write. Now, sometimes the students may think that if they add a D with a base form, it is the past form or the past participle. No, you can't do it because we have regular and irregular verbs. So, according to that nature, we have to go for the verb forms. So, what is best is to draw a table and list out the 5 verb forms. Out of the 5, sometimes you may omit or ignore the S form and ing form because they are so easy to handle. But at least minimum, you should remember or memorize base form, past form, and past participle form. Otherwise, when we construct sentences or when we write essays, there are possibilities for mistakes. All right. So I think we are getting too late now. Actually, we planned to go for a short lesson, but I think without my knowledge, I have taken more time. Anyway, now word class is not a one-day international. We cannot finish it in a very short time. We need some time to revise this. Now, rather than teaching, what I feel is doing some revision, because this is not the first time you and I are talking about word classes or the parts of speech. We have already spent years and years of learning on this. Anyhow, it is better to dust out and refresh ourselves basically on these areas or the basic grammar, and boost yourself and strengthen yourself and face the exam confidently. So I hope it is high time to wind up today's introductory lesson. Okay, so do you have any questions or any clarifications before I say good night to you? Do you have any request or anything to say?
Hello.
Yes.
From my side, actually, I understood well. Perfect explanation. Thank you so much, sir, and have a nice day, sir.
It's okay. You are welcome. So, dear students, good night and have a pleasant night and a pleasant tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hopefully see you in the next schedule. Good night.
Sure, sir. Good night.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.